Okay, not sure if this is going live, but anyways, I'll start the program. I guess it's streaming live. Okay, hi, welcome to the Infinite Filmmakers Release the Genie Within webcast. My name is Rich Smith. I'm a filmmaker and a spiritual life coach. So today I promised you that I'm going to teach you the secret to manifesting everything that you desire to have in your life and no limitations. And, a lot of people think I'm crazy when I talk about this, that, how can you say that when I'm sitting here with all these negative things that are going on in my life? And I think about positive things and I work really hard to get in the vortex and I change my thoughts and I don't see things changing in my life. And it doesn't have to be that difficult. My wife practices a law of attraction. She's really good at it. It's a lot of work and I don't have the patience for it. So what I do is I do what I call prayer treatments, which it's a 5-step process, and I'll teach you guys at the end of this how to do it. But basically, what I do is I think of the creator of my life, God, divine presence, whatever you want to call it. A religious person would call it God. A spiritual person might call it Buddha mind, or Christ consciousness. Lao Tzu calls it the Tao. Taoism, and George Lucas called it the source. The source be with you. I mean, force energy, the force. And it was Esther Hicks with Abraham calls it source energy. Whatever you want to call it, it's totally up to you. That the whole idea is that you're working with an unlimited power and presence. It's not withholding anything from you. Now, this is the same power that created the universe and everything in it. It's the same power that holds the universe together in perfect balance through gravity and through the solar system with the planets all circulating in a most perfect way to keep things in perfect balance. And that's what's going on in your life, that things are happening around you and to keep you in balance so that you can create whatever you want to create in your life. And the universe is conspiring to bring you good all the time. All the time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not maybe sometimes here or there. If you think this way, if you think that way, get in the vortex, get out of the vortex. It doesn't matter. The universe is always there giving us of our good. It's always knocking on our door. The trick is how you're going to receive that good. And like I say, you don't have to work so hard at it to get in the vortex, or to change your thoughts, or to go through really bad experiences to learn a lesson so that you do something right to be able to manifest what you want. That's way too much work. And so what I'm going to teach you is how you can connect with what I call God, the Infinite Filmmaker, creating the movie of your life. As a filmmaker, I like looking at it like my life is a movie and it's being created by an infinite power and presence, a divine presence, an infinite intelligence, call it. That's the director of the movie. And what's happening is I'm co-directing that movie with the Infinite Filmmaker, using the same power and presence that the Infinite Filmmaker uses to create everything in the universal movie. And that's the movie that's going on around us. So we have our individual lives movie, and then there's the universal movie. And what we do in our individual lives movie affects the universal movie. And what's going on around us affects our individual movies. So the idea for me is you can't buy into the illusion of what's going on in the universal movie or even what's going on in the individual life's movie, because everything is just an illusion. And like a mirage in the desert, you can see through that illusion. And the way I do that is that I understand from the get-go that I am co-creating the movie of my life. Okay. And I'm using unlimited power and presence to be able to do that. And there's nothing being held back from me. The Infinite Filmmaker, why would a filmmaker create a movie and not give its characters everything they need to make it the best possible movie, especially if it's an infinite filmmaker? And the answer is they wouldn't. So why would the Infinite Filmmaker hold back anything from you having whatever you need to create the movie of your life, the most perfect movie of your life? If you're a filmmaker, and no matter what it is, I'm telling you, no matter what it is that you need, that you can manifest that. And like I say, you don't have to work so hard at it. You just have to change your belief system. That's what it all boils down to. And that's why I'm here, to help you guys change your belief system. You got to believe in something. Even if you don't believe in a God, still, that's a belief that I don't believe in a God. And that's a belief. I don't believe that there's an unlimited power and presence out there that I can tap into. Or I believe that there's an infinite intelligence out there, like I used to believe when I was brought up a Catholic. There's a God out there that's doing things to you and creating chaos in your life because you're a sinner or something like that. Whatever your belief is, that's what it's measured by. I call the Christ the first assistant director because I believe that he knew more of what the Infinite Filmmaker wanted for your movie called Life than anybody else on the set. That the Christ was he just came from such a high consciousness that he could just say, pick up your pallet and walk, and you'd be healed. Or he could walk on water, turn water into wine, raise the dead, heal the sick. He believed in an unlimited power and presence. He called it the Father. I call it the Infinite Filmmaker. He knew that he was one with it. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys today, is that you are one with this infinite divine presence. And the other realization is that he just knew that it was going to respond to his words that he spoke. And he always said, just pick up your pallet and walk. Lazarus, come forth. He didn't say, he said, seek and you shall find, knocking it shall be open, ask and you shall receive. He didn't say maybe. Sometimes when you ask, well, you receive it, but maybe not. He said, seek, ask, and receive. And that's the bottom line. In the Bible, it says, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word is God. So what I'm stressing here is that the words that you speak have the power to create. And that's all you have to do is this 5-step process that I'm going to teach you at the end of this video. I think we'll go for like a half an hour today. At the end of this video, I'm going to teach you the 5-step process. And what that 5-step process does, it's called speaking the word. Okay. So you're speaking the word for the thing that you want to create. And when you do this process, these 5 steps, you're connecting with infinite intelligence in such a way that you open that door to all of your good. Everything, all of your good is knocking on your door. You got to open it. So how are you going to open it? You're going to try to get in the vortex and think positive thoughts and, all of that stuff. Or are you going to open the door by just simply going through this 5-step process that I'm going to give you guys? Now, I base this process on the 52 laws and principles that I call it the Infinite Filmmaker. These are 52 spiritual principles that I created maybe 15 years ago, I think, or 20 years ago, that I had this really bad experience as a filmmaker where our film got picked up by Warner Brothers and distributed it. We never saw any money. I got discouraged. I decided to create a film festival online. It took me 3 years to learn code and write it and everything. To make a long story short, computer crash, lost everything. It's totally depressed. I spent, a long time. We made 2 feature films, and they took about 8 years to get developed and made. So I spent more than 16, 20 years just getting to this point. And when my computer crashed, I was really depressed. So what I did was prayed and meditated and said, okay, God, I'm not doing anything. This is when I used to petition God. But the prayer treatment that I'm going to give you guys is not petitioning, it's recognizing, okay, that you're working with an unlimited power and pressures. You don't have to petition a God to do anything for you. It's already doing it. We just have to get in the vibration to receive it. And so I did a prayer treatment. And the next morning, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I started writing about 30 or 40 pages of this information. What if my life were a movie created by an infinite filmmaker? What would it look like? How would I live my life? How would I experience it? And started writing this stuff. And over the last 15 years, I know you're talking 20 years producing film, 15 years, on my spiritual path. I put a lot of work into this book. But anyways, so I started writing these principles down. I come up with the book, 52 Laws and Principles, 15 years later, of the Infinite Filmmaker. And I have that book. It's available to you, and I'm going to give it to you for free at the end of the webinar, if you hang in there. Let me see. I'm going to give you just a little brief view of it. How do we do that? Okay, I share my screen. Then I go to the book. Oops, I want to click on this audio too. Bingo. Okay, here's my book. Oh, there we go. So anyways, there's 52 spiritual laws and principles. in this book. I'm going to make it smaller so that you can see it on your phone. I don't know if you can blow it up on your phone, but here it is, 52 Laws and Principles. And that's principle number 3. There's only one power behind the creation of your movie called life. And what I talk about is 2 powers are not involved in the creation of your movie. A lot of people believe in a power outside of themselves and a power that's for their highest good, and there's another power for the bad things that happen in their life. There's not a power for good and another power for evil. There's only one power that the infinite filmmaker uses to create all of your good in your life's movie. The result of using that power for good, it's called divine grace. Divine grace. I know you've heard of the word before. I never knew what it meant until I was able to tap into this divine grace and use it to create some amazing miracles in my life. Anyways, when you begin to acknowledge all of your good and focus all of your attention on that good, you'll experience more of it. So the 3rd principle states that there's only one power behind the creation, all creation. It's the power for good, and there's nothing to oppose it. If the creator of all that is were against itself, then life could not exist. In the Bible, in Matthew, it says, the house divided against itself shall not stand. So how can this infinite filmmaker create this amazing movie of life going on around us? And why would it use that power to create bad things in your life? So you got to think of it this way. And I know sometimes things do happen to me in my life that are negative, but for me, that's a blessing. I see everything in my life as a blessing. Even when I got seriously ill and I couldn't walk, I needed a walker. I was out of work for like 7 or 8 months, and I had double vision and couldn't taste in my mouth and lost hearing in my ear and dizziness and vertigo. I mean, it was just horrible. But, when it was all done and over, I went through it, I moved through it. I even had to tape my eye closed. And thank God that I was able to do that and have the patience to do it, because I did save my vision. And the doctor said that I'd lose my vision if that eye dried out. So anyways, I just followed through. I did what I had to do. And I come out of it, I go, that was a blessing. It taught me about life. It moved me further on my spiritual path. As a matter of fact, I think it was answered prayer, because I was asking for a deeper connection with God. Okay, unfortunately, it had to come in this way, because although I've been asking for a deeper connection with God my whole life, I haven't gotten to the point where I wanted to really connect, to the point where I can teach this stuff to you guys and to show you how you can use these principles to create anything in your life. So I feel so connected to infinite intelligence, and it was a result of me becoming ill and going through that process. So I count that as a blessing. And every time I look at something in my life that I would normally look at it as something negative, I can now look at it as, this is great. This is great that this is happening, because it's bringing me to a higher place. And the more I focus on the good in my life, the less of these negative things start to happen in my life. Let me go back to this. They just don't, happen. And so where was I taking this? God, I could talk about this thing like crazy forever. But anyways, where I was taking this was that there's an unlimited power and presence that you can tap into with this process called prayer treatment, affirmative prayer. It's just affirming that there's an unlimited power and presence that's creating the movie of your life. And the way it creates it is the second step, which is to recognize that whatever the infinite filmmaker is creating in this universal movie, in your individual movie, it's creating through you. It's not doing anything to you. It's doing it through you, for you, as a result of you. You were created as a character in this movie called life, so the infinite filmmaker could experience life through you. Okay, so we are connected to that divine presence. I know this to be the truth. I know that it's the truth for me, and because it's the truth, because I know that I'm connected to this unlimited power and presence, that I have access to it. So the same, I mean, like I said, the first assistant director, I believe that I could walk on water, raise the dead, heal the sick. I've done some healing work in the past, so I know that's for a fact. Turn water into wine, anything that the Christ could do, I can do if I only was at his spiritual awareness that he was at, his spiritual consciousness of his oneness with the divine. And although I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to that, I still have a long way to go. However, I don't think that we, living in this environment of a world in chaos, a world that's telling you can't be, do, and have, we have a hard time denying that as the reality and focusing on the truth of your matter, which is that you have an unlimited power within you. You have an unlimited power within you to create whatever you desire in life. And so that's the second step, just recognizing that you're one with this power and presence. Okay, the third step is just realization that I really get into the realization that all of my good comes to me because I believe that it already exists in the mind of the infinite. It already exists out there, the right people, places, and things to bring me what I want and what I'm praying for, and what I need in order to express the infinite through me, okay, is available. It's already done. It's already done in the mind of the infinite. And I just have to, in the Abraham teachings, you have to get in the vortex, vortex of creation. So let me get out of this app and go back to the live. So, here's the thing that I believe that I'm connected to it, and it's already giving me my good, my grace. It's already there. The divine presence is already there as the right people, places, and things appearing in my life. The next step is gratitude, just being gratitude for all that I have and all that I'm about to receive. That's like a faith. That's like a faith step, because I believe so much that whatever I ask for is given to me, and I know that I'm going to receive it. And so I sit in gratitude for it. I'm so grateful for all that I have and all that I'm about to receive. And then I'll just sit in that night when I go to bed, I'll meditate, and I'll just, recognize all of the good things that happen to me during the day. It's tough sometimes, I'm not perfect. Stuff will come up in my life and I'll start going down that road of negativity. But then I realized that I don't have to, because I'm working with an unlimited power and presence that's always giving forth of its good to me. And that I don't have to get on the road of fear, doubt, and worry, that I can go up the road of faith, love, and belief. So that's the next step. The fifth step is very powerful. That's where you're releasing your word unto the universe. Okay. So what you're doing is you're speaking the word, this whole process, recognizing you're working with an unlimited presence, unifying yourself with it. I'm one with that divine presence. And whatever it's doing in and as and through me. The third step is I know that it's already done in the mind of the infinite. Therefore, it's already done in this universal movie. Okay. And then the fifth step is gratitude. And the fourth step is gratitude. The fifth step is release. You're releasing the word. The whole prayer treatment process is the thing. Is the speaking of the word. And you say it out loud. I recognize I'm working with unlimited power and presence. It's powerful. It's not withholding anything. It's the same power that created the universe and everything in it. The same power that creates an oak tree out of an acorn and holds the universe together in perfect balance. The same power that created me as a character in this movie called life. See what I'm saying? You walk through the process, and I can work with you on this. And that's what I'm going to do every Thursday at 4 p.m. So you got to come in and join me and join in on this, because I come from that consciousness where I totally believe that the word that I speak has the power to create. And I speak the word for these people, for my clients, knowing that it's going to be done. Now, I can speak the word for you, and you don't even have to be there. You don't have to know I'm speaking the word for you, because here's the way it works. Because I'm working with an unlimited power, because it's working as and through me, and it's giving me of my good. My good, okay, is the realization of the thing that I'm asking for. I just know that it's done. I know that it's done in the mind of the infinite. Because I know it's done in the mind of the infinite, there's nothing to stop it from happening. And so the thing that I'm praying for you to be able to manifest pops into being. It just does. It's like, now you can have negativity and all of that, and like you jump out of the vortex and all of that stuff. But my belief is so much powerful than that, and your belief of not having, that it overpowers it. And so, you have to understand that this universal movie, that there's just one thing happening, and that's the infinite filmmaker expressing itself everywhere, in and as and through everything. We're all connected to it. And I'm connected to you. Our minds are all one mind with that one infinite mind. The infinite mind is the mind of God. That's with a capital M. Then there's the individualized mind. That's our minds. That our minds are just individualized aspects of that one mind. So when we think a thought, infinite intelligence picks up on that thought, okay? And then it takes and it feeds it to what we call the subconscious mind. And in our life, it's not our conscious mind, but it's our subconscious mind. That's the mind that controls the functions of your body, your breathing and your digestion and all of that stuff, even while you're sleeping. That's part of the subconscious mind. Well, the infinite mind, the same thing that's happening in the individual, whatever's happening within is happening without. I'm sure you've heard of that saying. So whatever's happening within us, that we have a conscious mind, we're feeding it into our subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind creates that movie of our life. Well, the same thing with the infinite intelligence, that it's infinite mind, infinite intelligence, infinite consciousness, and it takes the thoughts that we have, because our mind's connected to it as one mind. The thought that we have goes into that, and then it takes and it feeds it to the second layer, which is like if you're planting a garden, you take a seed, you plant it in the soil and water it, nurture it, give it the right temperature and sunlight and all of that, it will grow into a light fruit. Okay, an apple tree is not going to grow from an orange seed. It's going to grow from an apple seed. And so that's the form that it takes. The same thing with infinite intelligence. It takes your thoughts, it feeds it to the subjective mind. It's like if I use the analogy of the infinite filmmaker creating a movie of your life, okay? So there's the infinite filmmaker takes the thoughts that you have, the words that you speak, the actions that you take, and it feeds it into the cast and crew, and they don't have a mind of their own. They only take what the infinite filmmaker feeds it, and then out of their own talents, they create the thing that the infinite filmmaker asked for. Okay, they don't, whatever it is the infinite filmmaker asked for, exactly. Okay, the cast and the crew takes that and creates out of it the movie of your life, the celluloid film that you're running as the movie of your life. And so it's infallible. You're creating a law that's infallible unto the thing that you're sending out to the universe, to God, divine intelligence. And it's infallible. It can't be. The problem is the minute we start thinking about something, we start seeing all the negative stuff around us, and we go down that road and we ruin the whole belief system. It's measured according to your belief, as the Christ said, asking you shall receive, seeking you shall find, knocking it shall be opened. That's measured according to your belief. If you say to this mountain, fall into the ocean, and believe it, it'll fall into the ocean, but you have to believe it. And so I think you're getting all of this, that you have to have the belief. And that's what I'm here for, is to work with you guys so that you have demonstrations in your life, and you can start to believe in this unlimited power and presence. And you start out with little things at first. Okay, you start out with, let's say, oh God, I wasn't recording this. Maybe it's recording on YouTube. Okay, so you would I leave off? Yeah, so that's what I'm here for, is to help you guys demonstrate. When you do a prayer treatment, at the end of it, you say, I release this word unto the universe, knowing that it's done in the mind of the infinite, and it returns to me fulfilled by law. You're creating a law unto the thing, spiritual law, like the law of attraction. It's creating a law unto that thing by the words that you speak, and then you release it unto the universe and say, so it is. This is something better shall come my way. And usually for me, it's something better than what I was even asking for. However, the idea is you get a demonstration. Okay, so we're going to start working with small little demonstrations with you. When I first started doing this work, it would be like driving up to a restaurant, I remember once, and driving around in circles and going, wait a second, what am I doing? I teach this stuff, I got to practice it. So I pull over and I go, my good comes to me. I recognize I'm working with this unlimited power and presence in the parking spot. The perfect right parking spot is already there for me, and I'm open to receive it. And I'm going to allow my good to come to me. And all of a sudden I'd look over and a car right in front of the restaurant would pull out in front of me. And I remember there was one time when I didn't even see anybody get in the car. They must have been just sitting there. So my good was waiting for me to pull up and believe that my good was coming to me. And that guy automatically pulled out at that time. The infinite filmmaker knows your needs even before you ask for them. So that space was already there, waiting for me to believe that I didn't have to drive around in circles. Because if I started driving around in circles for that parking space, who knows how long it would have taken? Because I was in the fear, doubt, and worry. I wasn't in the faith mode. So that's what I want to work with you guys on, is helping you to demonstrate small little things at first, and then we'll build ourselves to bigger things where you'll be able to, in the end, like I was doing, healing myself of that horrible disease I had where I was all paralyzed and stuff, or manifesting my soulmate. We just got a new Sprinter van. Where we're traveling up the coast, and I hope you guys can join us. We're traveling up to the Pacific West Coast, to Washington and Oregon. My wife is an artist. She's going to paint some lighthouses on the way up there, about 5 of them. And we've got this unit that we're going to broadcast it live so you can come and paint along with her. We're going to do a little touring thing. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please click on the subscribe button and ring the bell there so that you'll be warned when we start broadcasting this trip that we're going to have. It's a 2-week trip. We're going to broadcast every day about our journey and the different places that we're going to see, and the art class, and it's all free. You can come into it for free, and just get your art supplies ready. If you log in, Jen's going to go over the art supplies tomorrow, what you're going to need, and you can order them online, get them within a day or so. Anyways, we're looking forward to this. I hope this was useful to you, and I promised you that you were going to be able to experience the secret to manifesting whatever you desire in your life. And I just gave you the whole secret. Whether you take it and run with it or not, that's totally up to you. I give these webinars every Thursday. A lot of you have already paid to be on it. Every once in a while, I'll broadcast it live like I do today on YouTube. Otherwise, it's very reasonable. I lowered the price. I cut it, I think, 50% off. It's a monthly fee, and I do this every Thursday. So sign up, yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. I rambled on enough, and this was good. This was a good session. I feel good about this. I feel like something was speaking through me. I was a little nervous coming on and going, what am I promising these people that I'm going to teach them the secret to manifesting whatever they desire in their life? But I think I've done that. I think if you really understand the concept that I put in place here, that you discover the pearl of great price. Ernest Holmes, who was one of my mentors that taught me this stuff through his books and his readings and his teachings and his classes, said that, what did he say? He said that that form is mind in action. Okay, that the form of your movie called life is just your mind in action. And what he teaches is metaphysical teachings, just what I taught you here. And if you get my book with 52 Laws and Principles of the Infinite Filmmaker, I told you I'd give you the link to that. If you just go to theinfinitefilmmaker.com for a limited time, I'm going to have the book up for free, and you can get that. theinfinitefilmmaker.com. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you next Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And just start thinking about this stuff and get the book and start looking at the principles. It's one thing to look at the principles. I can't tell you, I got a whole shelf of books up here that I got for free that people had given me. And, I browse through them a little here and there. I read some of them. The really good ones I'll use as a Bible, and I'll look through them all the time, especially on marketing and stuff like that. That's my interest. But don't just read this book, 52 Principles. But oh, yeah, this is cool. A lot of people go, oh, yeah, this is great stuff. I get it. And then that's it. You got to practice the principles. Okay, you got to practice these principles on a daily basis. I said it's not a lot of work, like trying to get in the vortex and getting popped out. It's really simple. You read a principle and you practice it. At the end of the principle, I give you something that you do each week. And then you just practice that thing. You just bring it into your consciousness slowly. And when you work with me, I'll be doing prayer treatments with you. If you want to hire me one-on-one, then I can pretty much help you manifest whatever you want, because I've connected to that power and presence. It's out there. It's within, actually. The genie is within, so you can release the genie like I've been able to do. Just release that genie within, tap into that power, same power that created the universe and everything in it you have access to. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you on Thursday. And